Good afternoon. This is the news update on Dominion Television, Ibadan. I'm Ronke Giwa Onafua. The federal government has disclosed plans to launch a national campaign to promote made in Nigeria goods and services under the Nigeria First policy as part of efforts to revitalize the manufacturing sector. This was made known by the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Eno, at the 5th Adeola Odutola lecture by the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. According to him, the campaign aims to shift national demand towards Nigerian products that meet global quality standards while also addressing the country's import dependency. The federal government has announced a new policy to institutionalize the teaching and learning of sign language in all basic education schools across Nigeria as part of efforts to promote inclusive education and ensure that no child is left behind. The Executive Secretary of the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, Aisha Gadba, disclosed this during the commemoration of the 2025 International Day of the Girl Child in Abuja. Garba explained that the new policy would make sign language instruction a compulsory part of the basic education curriculum nationwide, thereby creating communication-friendly learning environments for children with hearing impairments. Now, the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has issued a firm disclaimer stating that it is not involved in any protests organized by activist Omoyele Sowore or any other group. Our correspondent, Richard Ashalu, has the report.
In press briefing held at the Federal Cooperative College, Ibadan, NANS President, Comrade Olushola Oladoja, described the rumors as false, urging the public, media, and security agencies to disregard the claims. They underscored the NANS mandate centers on education, youth development, peace and national unity, and that it will not lend its name to partisan or politically motivated allegations. The association warned that the protest promoters are faceless entities seeking to exploit NANS' reputation for destabilization.
The leadership of National Association of Nigerian Students has called this press conference to address and clarify misleading malicious narrative currently circulating on social media platforms. The narrative falsely claimed that NANS is planning to organize or participate in so-called Free Nnamdi Kanu protests slated for October 20th. We wish to state categorically and unequivocally that NANS is not.
Security agencies have also raised concern about the protest timing and intent, with police urging organizers to shelve their demonstrations, citing potential disruptions and public order. Sowore, however, remained defiant, insisting the protest will proceed. NANS calls on parents to call their wards to order, as association will not be held responsible for students who participate in the protests.
Our focus as a responsible student organization remains on education, youth development, peace and national unity, not partisan agitation. We therefore call on parents and guardians across the country to warn their children and warn not to be deceived or lured into joining any protest sponsored by greedy and self-serving politicians who do not mean well for the nation or the student community.
Richard Ashaolu for Dominion News.
The Nigerian Air Force has announced plans to conduct its annual 10-kilometer jog exercise in Abuja as part of efforts to enhance the health, fitness and operational readiness of its personnel. The Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ehimen Ejodame, made this known in a statement in Abuja. Ejodame said that the exercise underscored the importance of physical fitness to military efficiency and overall mission readiness. He said the exercise, which would commence by 6 a.m. and end by 8 a.m., will take place along the service lane between Karu Bridge and Mogadishu Cantonment Bridge in the Abuja-Nyanya-Kefi Expressway. Journalists have been advised to pursue alternative sources of income outside of their profession to make ends meet. Recently, some veteran journalists shared this advice during an event held in honor of veterans at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Press Center in Iyagoku, Ibadan, Oyo State. In his speech, the Commissioner for Information and former journalist Dotun Oyelade called for the removal of the term veteran from the title of journalist.
It was a night of reunion, celebration and relaxation as journalists, both seasoned and emerging, gathered at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Press Center to honor their veteran colleagues. In a speech, the Commissioner of Information and former journalist Dotun Oyelade called for the removal of the term veteran from the title of journalists.
Fan of the group called the veteran journalists, because I believe that word journalist, that word veteran should indeed be expunged from our dictionary. Once you are a journalist, you remain a journalist for life.
Banji Ogundele, the chairman of the League of Veteran Journalists in Oyo State, urged young and practicing journalists to prioritize the welfare of their children and not to rely on their salaries.
Second-hand value, I said no. But before he died, told me several times that a journalist should have a second job. A journalist should have a second job. Even in those days when we were well paid, where our salaries were coming regularly. Abba told me that the pay packet for a journalist would not be sufficient to cater for the family.
Awards of excellence were presented to several veteran journalists in recognition of their contributions to the success of the union. I know Grace, Dominion.
Now moving on to the foreign scene, Madagascar's coup leader, Colonel Michael Radianiarina, has been sworn in as president after the military took power in the island nation this week. The coup followed youth-led protests that forced Andry Rajoelina to flee. The African Union and the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres have condemned the coup, which came after weeks of Gen Z protests. And Mongolian Prime Minister Gombojav Zandajata has stepped down after losing the support of the country's parliament. Lawmakers voted to dismiss Zandajata, a former foreign minister and parliamentary speaker, following a meeting. The 55-year-old was confirmed as the country's 32nd prime minister in June after his predecessor, Luzina Masarai Oyonedene, quit, also after losing parliamentary backing due to corruption claims and street protests. Now talking sports, Super Eagles goalkeeper Kayode Bankole has officially joined South African Premier Division side TS Galaxy. The 22-year-old shot stopper completed a free transfer to the Mpumalanga-based club and signed a 2-year contract after leaving Remo Stars following the expiration of his deal. Bankole spent 5 successful years with the Sky Blue Stars, playing a crucial role in their rise in the Nigeria Premier Football League, NPFL. Well, you can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and on X at DominionCast. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television. Thank you for watching. I'm Runke Giwa Onafuwa.